Hare Krishna. So if God is everywhere, why do I need to go to a temple? Think about it. There is air everywhere. And yet, you need to put on the fan. If you're feeling suffocated, you want the air conditioner on. Why is that so? Similarly, though Krishna is everywhere, we do not have the chakshu, the transcendental eyes, to see Krishna in everything. And that is why Krishna has an abode of his own, the temple, a place where there's tea for tranquility, there's engagement, there's medication and meditation, there is peace, there is love, and there is so much of eagerness to visit a temple. Because the deities in the temple are not just idol, they are ideal. They may be carved out of wood or marble, but they've been invoked, pratishta has been done. So Krishna is actually doing us a favor by manifesting himself in the form of a deity which we see in the temple. Generally people think and say is, I have a temple in my house, but the sanctity, the decorum maintained in a temple, we cannot do it in our own house. We move about with chappals, slippers, we talk in any kind of language, the television is on, we do not sometimes respect each other, we eat anything and everything. But when we come to a temple, there is peace. We find like-minded people. All of us automatically know we need to take out our footwear before we enter the temple. We do not scream and use foul language. We maintain the decorum inside the temple. Why? Because the Lord actually resides there. He's giving us a chance to serve him. The same worshipping when we do in our home, we know whatever we offer to the deities, we are going to get it back. But when I come to a temple, I learn the art of giving. I go to the temple, I bow down before him, and I understand that Krishna, without you, my life would be nothing. It teaches me how to be detached. I offer something, I do not expect anything else in return. And scriptures very clearly state that in our life we need a spiritual master. Take for example, you want to buy a vehicle, and supposing Mercedes is the car that you always dreamt of. You could be saying Mercedes, Mercedes, Mercedes all your life, but you will never be the owner of that car. But if you have that money, you go to the showroom which sells the Mercedes car, you give him the money and he says, well, this is it, fill the papers, formalities, he hands you over the keys. Likewise, to get God in our life, we need a spiritual master. And where do you find him? In a temple. The acharyas are there. We could say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna all our life. But when a spiritual master holds our hand, he has the right to take us back home, back to Godhead, to Krishna, where we actually belong. Like-minded people come together. The ABCDE of life is what the temple teaches us. Association of devotees. Whoever comes to a temple, they in some way devoted to the Lord. Be every morning in every ISKCON temple, we have a Bhagavad Gita class and a Bhagavatam class. See, as in chanting, people who come there by default, knowingly or unknowingly, are chanting the name of the Lord. D as in deity worship. We go there, we understand that Krishna is actually there in those deities. He reciprocates. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly states, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham. To the extent that I surrender, he comes to me, he acknowledges my worshipping. It's very essential to go to the temple because that is where God resides. And in some way or the other, the attitude of gratitude, to tell God, I am so grateful to you for having given me this human body. Imagine 84,000 lives we have wasted. Just this one lifetime, you devote to Krishna. 84,000 lives of yours will be saved. And if you ruin this life, again the whole cycle of 84,000. And we do not want to become animals, we do not want to become trees, birds, insect. We need to thank God for what he's given us. And the place that we need to go for is a temple. Remember, even Surdas, he had no eyes. But one time when he was going to worship Krishna, He tried to push a few people. He said, let me go fast before the altar shuts. And people mocked him and made fun of him. And he said, you are blind. What do you want to see the deities for? And Surdas said, I may be blind, but when I go to the temple, more important that I see the deities, Krishna is going to see me. The deities are happy to see us. At least for Krishna's sake, please come to the temple. Hare Krishna.